What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Overzeal Arts, and today we're going to be talking about lines. So I don't know if you've noticed in my art pieces on the channel or on Instagram, my line art has been very inconsistent, especially over the years. You know, I've tried single line weight, fluctuating line weight in that style where it's like thin lines on the inside, thick lines on the outside. I'm gonna let you in on a secret real quick. I've always hated the line art portion of the drawing, you know, going all the way back to my childhood, 400 years ago. It's like, nah. But yeah, I used to just wanted to, you know, get it over so I could start coloring. The exciting part of drawing for me was the sketching and the coloring. Line art, not so much, you feel me? It was stressful. It was stressful to me. I like the free, almost scratchy look to line art, kind of like Gege Akutami, who draws Jujutsu Kaisen. The lines are very kinetic, very edgy. It has like a, I don't want to say energy, but it does. It doesn't look static. Actually, I just said kinetic, so obviously it's not static. But yeah, then eventually I got into ink brushes, thinking that it'd be easier and faster of an experience. But that takes a mastery that your boy doesn't just have yet, because I'm continuing to practice. I love using ink brushes. Yeah, and it could cut down time greatly. But yeah, that takes more and more practice. So I switch back and forth. Sometimes I hit the goal, sometimes not so much. But, you know, I'm getting there. One thing about ink brushes is that it reveals my hand shakiness. The hand isn't always iron, feel me? A fun fact, you know, when I was gathering the files for this video, I was listening to the Artcast podcast by, shout out to DDMArk and 3rd PHP. And they had an artist, a character designer named Carbon Fiber. And at the 12:20 mark, she mentions Katsuya Terada because he, quote, likes lines a lot. I thought that was funny for what I was doing. But yeah, so I looked at it. I'll put the picture up here. So yeah, I could appreciate the various types of line works, but as I get better, maybe I'll learn to love it more. Let me just get good at it. I'm gonna just get good and see what we do from there. Yeah, so we're just gonna do an overview of my line art, look at some other artists' line arts, and pick somebody to study from in a future video. All right, so let's start off with this picture of Link. First off, disclaimer, do not gun my anatomy right here, that left arm. I know that junk gotta hurt, bro. Sorry I did this to you, Link. I'm so sorry, bro. But yeah, so this is one of the pictures that actually I did not post on the internet for obvious reasons. As you can see, it is weighted line art. Albeit very sloppy. I didn't even cut off the edges. As you can see, lines are going over the borders where they should be. I intended for it to be a serious piece, but it just eventually, as it went, I got, you know, frustrated, tired of it, and it became just practice. I named this Sawn, this was just practice, and it's like Sawn, S-A-W-N. I was like, quick name for it, not much thought went into it. And as you can see with this, it's also weighted lines. You see the line on the chin is thinner than the lines for the turtleneck. This one actually, it was a birthday gift for my mom when I first started doing digital art. I didn't load up the line art by itself, but you can see that this one is also weighted lines. One side of the face, I should have made, because it would be darker because the hair is covering it. The left side of her face, the line along the jaw should have been thicker than the right side, but it's opposite. But you know, lines. All right, the next one is Mirio. This one I actually really like. It's kind of weighted and scratchy at the same time. I was kind of indecisive. The front leg is blurred out, but you can still see that it's scratchy / weighted all throughout. Some parts are more scratchy than the others. As you can see, like the left kneecap is more scratchy. The bicep of the left arm is scratchy, but the hair is very neat. I actually started off wanting to do that style or trying to do that style, and then eventually I was like, yeah, forget about it. What's the next one? Because we have a lot of drawings to go through, so I'm gonna just like speed through these. This one is of my OC Kaji Sky, and you can see that it is, for the most part, single weighted. There's not much variation in the lines in this one. And the next one is Yoda. We got Yoda. This one isn't posted online, but this was a commission that I did, and with this one you can see that it is weighted. I could have did much better. I got to get these lines down packed because it could level up my art so much. It's just the fact of like, it's so painstaking to me. But I'm gonna learn to love it. I am going to learn to love line art. That's gonna be one of my goals this year, actually. I just came up with that. This one is called Sent By. I actually have prints of this one that have sold previously. This one is weighted line art combined with blackout. You see that style mainly in comic and mangas. This one's very clean, no scratches at all. That style is cool. You know, like I could appreciate it, but I prefer the roughness. What's the next one? We have Iron Man. I forgot to load up the line art for this, but here's a video of me doing the line art. This one I did on Procreate. All right, so let's look at some W examples of line art. We are gonna go over to Studio AP Art here on YouTube. I've been watching this channel for a while, and his drawings are fire, bruh. Look at this. First off, look at this sketch. The sketch alone is fire. Trying to think of another adjective, but yeah, you see the line art is very deliberate and very confident. It gets what he's trying to do done. Most of his approaches are weighted line work. Next, we have my guy, Kohei Horikoshi, the writer and artist of My Hero Academia. Look at these sketches. You can see the lines are, even though they're very scratchy and not all the way solid, they're still confident lines. Like, there's a difference between scratchy lines when you're indecisive, you don't know what direction you're gonna go in next, and scratchy lines where you know exactly what you're doing, but this is what you're doing on purpose. But he also draws a little different from his sketches and when he does the manga, because you can see here this drawing, because as you can see here, this drawing of Shoto is not as scratchy as the other sketches that I showed you before this. It still has this roughness to it, even though it's weighed lines. So he has these two line art, what is the word, bruh? So he has these two line art techniques down packed. The man is nice. So Gege Akutami, who I mentioned earlier, is a great example of what I was saying, with the lines may look a little messy, but it's all on purpose. It's all still confident. When I was reading JJK, I was like, yo, it's crazy how it almost looks like he doesn't care about the line work, but he's still able to get his communication through. Like, he's still able to communicate what he wants in the drawing, even though his lines aren't beautiful in a sense where they're not clear and like they're not clear cut. It's hard to explain this, but just look at these examples. He could get something very neat done. There was a manga panel where Itadori is fighting a cricket monster or whatever. He's fighting the cricket and the lines are crazy and they look like out of control, right? But then also the next page is a picture of a real life cricket and it's so neat. You're like, yo, the way he can do both styles is crazy, and seeing it next to each other, he's like, yo, he could do this refined style if he wanted, but this is what he prefers, probably because the speed of doing a weekly manga and stuff like that. But I think it's pure greatness to be able to do this style like that. And then even in color, and you can see here his lines are more tame, but it still has that ruggedness to it. This cover is dope. I want to like practice and study this at some point. Then we're gonna go over to another YouTuber, guy that I watch and mentioned earlier as well, DDMArk. Now he has this style as well. I've seen him do multiple styles too though, but I like the scratchy style where you can see it's the same thing with Gege Akutami, where The lines are scratchy, but confident they know where they're going. You can see the very thick lines of the dragon in the background, but it's still scratchy as well, where it's like, we're not taking the lines so seriously, like myself, to where my hand is being destroyed because I'm like, gotta stay steady, gotta stay steady. Probably the last person I'm gonna check out here is on Instagram. It's, I don't know if it's Iseekim or Iseekim. I'm gonna go with Iseekim. These lines are perfectly what I want. Perfectly what I want. It's probably gonna be, I'm gonna have some influences from DDMArk and Gege Akutami. But from this person, as you can see these lines, look at all of these scratches. I'm almost speechless right now. It's so kinetic, like the drawing is alive. Like it's actually gonna move, you know, even though it's not. If you see it moving, check your brain out. But yeah, you can see these. I don't know what to say aside from repeating what I've already said before. It makes it look more alive to me. This is how I interpret it. That things aren't stale and stagnant. All right, so we're gonna go into the second half of my artwork to review the lines. This first one is called Baptism here. I like it in color. The line art is pretty simple. It's single line weight. I didn't do too many things fancy with it. Not that I could, you know. But yeah, that's all with that. And then what's next? Nivin. This one is a OC that I created for a story I'm coming up with. If you've been keeping up with the videos, you know about it. This is Nivin chilling on a beanbag chair of some sort, and his lines are weighted. And then the next one here is Irazo. I like this one less than Nivin. I also did this one before Nivin. But yeah, this one is weighted as well. All right, this next one is of Vegeta. This one's pretty simple. It looks mainly like single weight, but it is fluctuating weight. Or what was the term I was just using? Whatever. All right, so we're gonna get into a batch of drawings that have some of my favorite line art that I've done. We're gonna start off with Bam Out of the Bayou. It's like, nah, shout out to Kendrick Perkins. Bam Out of Bio, which I named this one Super Bam. And I love this line art that I did. It's a mixture of everything. Wade, that has a thick outline around the cape, and then along the arms is scratchy more so. And yeah, there's so much detail in the jersey folds. I was like, you know what? Let's go all in on this. I try to send it to his Instagram or whatever. Hopefully he reposted, things like that. I did put it on my story and tag him, and he watched it. We'll see. We'll see if I can get the Miami Heat Instagram account attention for a repost. Let's go. I would draw every player. Like, stop playing with me. I'll draw every... It's like, nah. Moving along. This is another drawing of the OC, Kazi Sky. Except this was based on my old RuneScape account. If you play RuneScape, you'll know some of the items that he's wearing. I'm not going to mention them. Let's see if you mention them in the comments. This line art I like. There's no scratches in this one. This one is pure weighted line art. I think I did very well with making everything steady. It looks clean and neat. It's pretty good, in my opinion. Anyone has a critique, actually, I forgot to mention, you could put it in the comments. I'll gladly take critique so that I can get better. This picture of Sharingan Link, these lines are very thick, especially along the outside of the top half. As you can see, scratchiness. Not really unless you nitpick. It's executed okay, kinda. It's still amongst my favorite, but I can see spots where I was kind of lazy with the lines. Gohan Beast. This is a combination of scratch and weighted, which is the style that I want to go for. I think I executed this pretty well. The hair, I think the hair is the most neat out of the whole thing, except for the one big bang in the front. But everything else is pretty cool. I like how I did the hand, weight and scratchy. I'm gonna go on. This one, a redesign of Electrode. I like this a lot. Now there's scratchiness. I don't know if you count that as scratchiness with the beard. It's just the style. I'll say scratchiness. Yeah, and then it's lined weight for the most part. This is a combination of it's mainly neat, but kind of rough. I just love to look at it, man. So yeah, that's all the line art that I had lined up. Get what I did there? That's everything I had lined up for you for this video. I have decided that I'm gonna study Iseekim's images because that is as I said, the perfect style that I had in mind. I'm gonna also incorporate some of DDMArk's artwork and Gege Akutami and try to draw more free, man. Stop being so stiff. I think the stiffness of it is what traps me and what makes me not like it as much and not do as well in it. You know, you do better in the things that you love to do. So this is what I'll be working on. Appreciate y'all. If y'all got some artwork, you could tag me on Instagram at overzell_arts. But yeah, I'd love to see your artwork as well. Oh yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm out.